Good morning. Happy Monday. So, yesterday was Big Picture Day, and I thought about this question most of the day. My nephew asked me, Uncle Tim, what is all this Tony Robbins stuff? What is this? Well, that's a really good question. So, religion starts with the assumption that there's a God and then works their way back down to individuals. And they talk to you about how to live your life in broader strokes. And then they talk to you about how to live your life in terms of dealing with the afterlife, right? Based upon whatever that religion believes. Philosophy starts with the individual and tries to work its way back up to religion, tries to work its way back up to God, and prove that, in fact, that there's a God. That's St. Thomas Aquinas's KQEV, 5 Proofs for the Existence of God, and Soren Kierkegaard's teleological suspension of the ethical and all that stuff. But both of those disciplines, when they talk about how to live your life, they paint broad strokes, but they don't talk about details. So after the Industrial Revolution, the first book to really talk about this day-to-day, how to live a fulfilled life, was Think and Grow Rich. And it really started this idea of beyond religion, beyond, living, being a good person and doing what you're supposed to do so that you're in good graces with your religion, because these different coaches have no conversation with you about religion. That's not what this is about. How do you live a fulfilled life? After the Industrial Revolution, we had more time on our hands. We were able to go to school. We were able to acquire assets. And so it became about, how do I live a fulfilled life beyond just having a life consistent with whatever I believe spiritually? So when Tony Robbins first started, he didn't want to be known as your guru. So that's why, he even, his documentary is even called I'm Not Your Guru. And so he said, I'm really a coach. And he kind of invented this whole idea of life coaching. So, all of these books, Think and Grow Rich, how to influence people, the power of positive thinking, all of this stuff, it's more than just motivation. It's also technology. It's also information. And the information is not only how to live a fulfilled life, but why you want to live a fulfilled life beyond whatever, you believe spiritually. And obviously every now and then there's a little bit of a spiritual component, but what all this stuff really does is it's designed so that while you're here in this human experience, to have the most fulfilling experience that you can have. What is it that people do who while they're on this journey are able to achieve a lot of things, are able to grow, but at the end of the day are also able to look back at this experience and feel like they had a great experience? So that's what personal performance technologies are all about. And motivational speakers, no matter who they are, from Grant Cardone to Tony to, you name all the people, they do more than just motivate you. They also give you information. They also give you systems. They also give you ways of thinking so that you can, achieve goals, but more than just that, so that you can align yourself so that you're consistent with who you want to be. So, I'm doing kind of a big picture Monday, but I think the answer to the question is, in my opinion, religion kind of teaches you how the type of person that you should be. I think that's what religions are trying to do a lot of the times in order to deal with the afterlife. Philosophy's talking about why we're having this experience. And coaches like Tony Robbins are talking to you about how do you live your day-to-day life so at the end of this journey you feel most fulfilled. And also how to deal with the parts of this journey that are incredibly difficult, like losing a spouse, losing a loved one, losing a child, becoming a paraplegic or getting a disease or whatever. How do you deal with those types of events and get through them so that at the end of this journey, you've had the best experience that you can possibly have? So as we start out our Monday, I start a Tony Robbins event at the end of this week. We start Date with Destiny at the end of this week, which is a huge event, typically our biggest event of the year in terms of time and effort. The whole point of all of this is so that at the end of this experience, you look back and decide, I've done everything I can. I love the movie Meet Joe Black, where Anthony Hopkins' character gives a speech at the end where he says, it's his birthday, and he says, I'm going to tell you what my wish is when I blew out my candle, and I want my wish to be what all of you end up having. And that is that at the end of your life, you're able to look back and say, I've done everything I came here to do. I don't want anything more, and I'm ready for whatever happens from here on out, but I've accomplished everything that I want to accomplish. The whole point of all of these technologies, the whole point of everybody who talks and does these videos and does books and does all that stuff is to help us all be able at the end of the day to look back and say, I did everything that I came here to do. How do we create a system so that that's the case for us when the end of our journey on this human experience is done, so we can look back and say, I did it all. I did everything I wanted to do, and I'm ready for the next step, whatever that is. So that's my big picture for a big Monday. That's what we're here for, is to make sure that we all look back and say, we did everything that we wanted to do. How do you do the step-by-step things every day so that down the road you look back and go, I'm proud of the journey that I took. Have a great Monday. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.